Hey Frank,
Hey, Frank.
Hey,
Good
Top
evening.
F.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all today?
good.
Great. Even better now that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Means
man,
a
we're
lot
just
to me,
keeping the
man.
conversation going.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry for taking so long. I just came back from the gym and trying to come here as quickly as I can. Um, yeah, I hope I didn't keep you guys waiting too long. Um, but yeah, if anything, you guys ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
I like how we were talking about ChinaNews.com and then Frank comes out and breaks the frame. All right, guys, let's get going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that, but I was thinking that, we could discuss, a bit about investing. Maybe it's a little bit about seduction, maybe about, maybe some sales here and there, depending. Because I actually prepared some questions that I would like to ask you guys, and if you guys also have some questions too, feel free to ask as well. All right. So,
Of course.
all right. Well,
Thank you, Frank.
of course. Thank you guys. Honestly, I appreciate you all coming here. Really. Especially this late out at night. But all right then. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Road to Success show. The number one newest YouTube channel, YouTube series that the world has ever seen. Okay, we talk about all types of things of investing. We talk about entrepreneurship, sales, you name it, and we talk about it, man. Anything that involves money, anything that involves prosperity, you'll find it right here, and then some. uh,
Were
so
you,
I,
were you recording that? Were you recording that or not?
yeah, man, this is all. This is all. Yeah, we're live right now, dog.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we live, dog. We do it live. All right. So I think a good way to start off is just like how we started off last time. We can start off by giving out your name, your age, higher education completed, what you do for a living, and aspirations for the future. All right. So then we can we can start with you, David.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So I'm David. I'm 27 years old. Highest education was a bachelor's degree, and occupation is a digital marketing. And future aspirations for me is to be financially independent, and being able to live off of a passive income.
Awesome. Awesome. And what about you, Alexis?
All right, everyone. My name is Alexis Guzman. Currently 24 years old, and I currently live actually in Nevada. And I high education, some college, community college. Currently, I am an electrician slash handyman, and future aspirations just reach financial freedom, but also take control of my time, not feel like my time is being wasted on things I don't like doing. So
Mm.
that's yeah.
Amen. Amen. And what about you, Brian?
All right, my name is Brian. I just turned 33. Um,
Happy birthday.
Thank you. uh, as far as my education, I will for sure be getting a bachelor at least, and then as far as aspiration is to you know um, create create value for people, basically. you know um, Bring value to you guys,
Mm.
to everyone, and creating, of course, passive income, but you know making an impact on the world as far as
Mm.
coming up with innovative projects. And my aspiration too is to help others, who need advice or who need my connections or resources, uh, so they can prosper uh, too. So that's it.
That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Amen. Amen. I love all your responses, honestly. Yeah, we all similar minded. Because I'm Frank. Pleasure to meet you all once again.
Mhm.
And I am 27 years old. I had some college, only like a year or so, but completed as high school diploma. And what I currently do for a living, I'm essentially a door-to-door salesman, so to say. Even though I'm not really selling anything, because all I do is just give people free estimates on any new home renovation project that they want to have done in their house. And yeah, my highest aspiration is around the theme of what you guys said. Passive income, be able to provide a service to the community as best as I can, in as great as possible quantity as I can, and especially, in 5 years, I want to be a millionaire, raking in at least $85,000 every single month. And I'm willing to sacrifice anything and everything it takes to make sure I get it. So, yeah, yeah. Great start, guys. Awesome. Um, so how about we just jump right into this then, huh? Yeah. I got a few questions here about investing. Um, so I guess a good way to start off is, uh, what are some good investments that every man should make in the year 2023?
Hmm.
So we can start with you, Brian. We can work our way around.
Good question.
And it
I
doesn't have
guess
to
with
be. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
But it
you're good.
doesn't. Yeah, yeah, sorry. But it doesn't have to mean anything about like financial investments. Just any kind of what you would consider investments that a man should have in the year 2023.
Oh, okay, because I was going to go to a certain direction.
Okay.
um, no, it's okay. You're good. Because I was going to talk about as far as financial, as far as like how the economy is going, so far, as far as the stock market going down. Um, I, I, I would have said to invest in stocks while it's going down. Uh, you know what I mean? But as far as your question, I get it. I would say invest in yourself. As far as it can be, your education, or like invest on I don't know, more like personal stuff, right? And also investing in people you care about, right? Like girlfriend, like close friends, your mom, like people who who've been helping you, who've been sacrificing a lot to really take care of you. Investing in them definitely. As far as I don't know, it can be, I don't know, taking your relative somewhere so that this person can really enjoy herself or himself, and like really not only like investing in yourself but really investing in the people you care about. That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Amen to that. I agree
Wonderful.
wholeheartedly.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, we can work our way around as well. So, what about you, Alexis? What do you have
All
to
right.
add on to that?
Yeah, I like Brian's answer at the end. Invest in people you care about. Um, like right now, I just this investment, our time in his calls, right? Like I think for me, yeah, money too, is money's a good way, right? But I feel like most people don't talk about investing in like yourself, relationships, into your relationship bank account, right? Because money comes and goes, and money is great, but if you have good people around you, then life will just kind of suck. Like I saw a TikTok a while back while I was at CSN. You and it's like, what was the study of living up to age like 90, 80, 100? Most of them, what I would say, like being social, like having those good connections, relationship, right? So to a longer life, one of the factors, right? Um, Also health too, right? How, like those two
Amen.
things, I feel like, yeah, because without it, how are you gonna make money, right? You can focus on money, but those two things are health and relationships. I feel like are big in like just having a happy life in general. And yeah, invest in yourself, right? Invest in your skills. I feel like before you invest in like stocks or retirement accounts or real estate, I feel like you should invest in your skills, to make money, right? Because that's what's gonna, not just pay the bills, but also get the investments that are gonna make your passive income, which is whether you buy on a course, a book, um, even like a mastermind or something that's gonna help you level up and taking action to get the results you want. So yeah, it's a 3 point answer. Like, yeah, but I would say more so health, relationships, and then like in yourself too. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it, man. I love it. I agree wholeheartedly. Invest in people, books, courses, in yourself and your skill set. Agree wholeheartedly. Yeah. And what say you, David?
Great responses so far by Brian and Alex, and I know you have a good response as well, Frank. For me, I guess from a financial standpoint, I would say this year's not a good time to invest in anything really. It's more of a
Mm,
have a like stack your cash and get ready to invest in 2024 and beyond. It's also where wealth is made. When things are not so great in the economy. So that's my answer for the money part of it. But the other side of it, like Alex said and Brian said, first of all, invest in your health. Whether it's investing in a good bed, investing
mm,
in good food and good water, gym membership, whatever it takes to make sure that you're right yourself, whether it's mentally or physically. So, I mean, if you don't have your health, you don't have the energy to do the things that you want, to spend time with the people that you care about, to make money, do all the things you want in life. That like without your energy, without your health, you have nothing else in life. So that's the first thing you would invest in. And after that, second for me would be experiences. So that, I guess that kind of ties in hand with like relationships. So having a good experiences with people that you care about, friends, family, loved ones, a significant other if you have one, your kids if you have them. I mean, not none of us do at the moment, but it's
mm.
just stuff like that, experiences, and because your whole life is basically a continuous journey of experiences and the way you interpret them. So in order to kind of have like a good perspective of different aspects of life, you have to go out there and have experiences. So invest in fun experiences. Just go out there and do everything. Try it all, anything that you want to do. Because if you don't do it, then you'd be wasting. You're just throwing away time that you have, which is the most finite and precious asset everyone has. So at all times in your life, try to invest in doing things that you are interested in. Experience life. Just go out there and do it. But
Amen.
yeah, that's about. I'm trying to think if I have anything else in my mind, but I guess on top of that, like you guys are emphasizing relationships. Like life is meaningless if you don't have anyone to share your life with, like romantically or friendships or family or any of that. Like, what's the point of doing everything alone? when I guess kind of whole point of life is to make the world a better place. Make our community a better place. Make the lives of our people a better place. Family, friends, whoever's around you in your community, and the hope to inspire the younger generation to carry that on when we pass or before after we pass. So so I think about sums of what I would invest in: experiences, relationships, and your health.
Wow, simply amazing, guys. Like honestly, I thought you guys were gonna answer like, oh, invest in stocks, invest in real estate, cryptocurrency. But no, you guys really took it in a very deep human place, and I wholeheartedly agree with all your answers. Because one thing I've learned from doing the job that I do, because I talk to a lot of people, I go to a whole bunch of neighborhoods, I knock on a lot of doors, from people of all social classes, and when I knock on the really big houses with the really wealthy people, I've noticed that they're rich not because of the money that they make, but of the connections of the people that they have. Because I would knock on
Mm.
their door and I would tell them like, "Hey, would you need any work done in your home?" Like, they would tell me, "Oh, I got a guy who does that. I know my brother's cousins does that, or no, I know somebody who does this, and they know somebody who does this." Like they have a whole like network of people that they know and they can trust, and that's one of the reasons why they're so rich and wealthy. Because the money it comes and goes, but the connections that they have, it's priceless, really. And yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I do agree that a man does need to invest in himself with books, courses, anything to build up on his skill set that's marketable, that's useful to the marketplace. That is very much needed to invest in oneself. And but that's just like on the self development side of it. I think on the more financial side of it, I would say that a man needs to also invest in, to have a little bit diversified, like maybe some real estate properties that he should invest in, either by himself or with a partner, or and also some cryptocurrency as well, because I do believe that that is the future of currency.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, because I believe that eventually we're all going to get to a point to where, well, I mean, we're already at a point at which we're already all using it. It's already being widely accepted around the U.S.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, which actually takes me to my next question, actually. And like I told you, my views on crypto is that I believe it is the future of how we conduct transactions, of how financing will be done in the foreseeable future. But I'd like to know, what are your guys' views on cryptocurrency? Uh, yeah, we can start with you, David. What do you think? Uh,
David?
David, did we
Oh,
lose you?
Yeah, it's connection.
Ah,
dang.
nah,
Oh,
that's all right. Maybe he'll come back to us later on.
yeah.
Yeah, but do you want to start us off with this, David? Are you back?
Oh, hey, could you repeat the question? Sorry, for whatever reason, my internet connection cut you off for the previous 30 seconds. I just got back
Okay.
on right now. If you would,
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's
I
fine. It's
was
fine.
pretty sure what you said. No, thank you about that.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, but
all.
yeah, I don't know why my internet connection's been pretty off, like one of these calls. But thank you, Frank.
Yeah, of course, man. It's all cool. I get it. It happens from time to time. But my question to you, David, is what are your views on cryptocurrency? Do you think that it's the future, or it's just a fad right now that's gonna die out eventually?
Mm,
What do you think?
It's a great question. I think, I mean, I have a hunch that cryptocurrency was invented by the feds. I think it's kind of,
Oh,
yeah, like I have a feeling it's kind of a way to it was secretly not created by some random guy named Satoshi. I think it was created by the feds as a way to kind of, I think let's see, was it? I don't know what the key way to say it is. Fight inflation or to like kind of yeah, I guess kind of like the deal with inflation that was happening for the past few years. But as far as like the future of cryptocurrency, I think it definitely is the future of how we transact, how we send money to our peers. And I think that most cryptocurrencies will die out. A lot of them are just kind of pump and dump or fads, but there will be a few that end up living on, and the few that you invest. If you know what you're doing, I guess, if you look at some of the clues, you might invest early into some of the ones that over the next decade or so will really take off, and you can get really rich or wealthy off of that. Um, and just kind of looking at which currencies would actually stay around. But I think most of them are fads, but I think a good majority, most of them will be gone, I think, in the next decade or so, but there will be a few ones that stay around for the long haul. And if you invest in those, like I would say probably 2024, you'll probably do really well with that over the next decade or 5 years, even a few years, even.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. It's just like God knows how many cryptocurrencies out there. Like a whole like hundreds, thousands of them.
Yeah.
I don't like a few of them have any real value to them. Yeah. What do you think, Alexis?
Yeah, I mean, only like so. I was gonna also ask you guys maybe like portfolio investments, but me personally, I think I'm only have like 1% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. Um, yeah, I've been really like in the beginning, 2017, when I first heard about it. I used to be on CoinMarketCap all the time. I remember one of my other friends, he was into that too. Um, and yeah, it was just something that just blew up, right? A lot of marketing towards it. Um, but oh yeah, it's in my room. Um, but yeah, I mean, I really don't spend a lot of time on it, personally. Some guy told me that the swing trader told me that no, a day trader. He said that if Bitcoin ever gets less than 13,000, he said he would go and invest his money into that. But as of right now, he's just not really paying much attention to it, really investing. And yeah, some coins like depends what coins you buy into because some coins, yeah, are like scams. You just don't know, and kind of like NFTs. You got to it's just I stick to the big ones like Bitcoin, Litecoin. The all other few coins you could probably get rich off of them, but it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of like gambling. You don't know what you're doing. It's like Warren Buffett. He said, you don't invest out of your circle of competency. You invest what you know, because when you invest in stuff you don't know, then that's where you lose money basically. And like Charlie Munger, he's like never interrupt compound interest doing its thing. So if you invest at like age 20 to you keep it there to your like age 50, you're gonna have a couple $1,000 in there because it's compounded, right? You never take it out. Basically, that's one rule too. You gotta remember too. Um, Whatever it is, because people when they invest in Bitcoin and they take it out, they cash out, right? They make some money, but then it's gone. It's like now the compounding stopped. So you kind of think, like long term too. Like real estate, you hold it for a while. It depends, right? What your strategy is, I don't know, but you know, you gotta know like the type of investor you are too. Are you like high risk investor? Are you like low risk? Are you willing to lose more money, gain more money? Are you willing to like lose less money but ensure um, consistent gains over time? Like a Roth IRA or stock market, or it just depends. Like or real rental income. It just depends on you know. But basic crypto, yeah, I don't really get into it much anymore these days. I have Bitcoin, but like $100, but
Yeah.
I don't get into it much anymore these days. Yeah.
Yeah, same here, man. I literally only put like $100 in like probably like a few years ago, 5 years ago. Haven't added anything more. But what do you think, Brian? What do you think about all this? You agree? Disagree?
I think that cryptocurrencies are a good thing. Why? Because when we started to hear about cryptos early on, um, you know uh, basically cryptocurrencies are a way to avoid doing you know uh, a transaction through um, banks, right? And to be able, that's why they call it, like peer-to-peer transaction. As far as being, able to send money to, let's say your friend or family overseas, without, having to go through, the banking system, right? And have, this transaction being actually faster than, um, like a banking transaction,
Right.
right? So you know,
All right, Brian, I just sent you. I sent everyone like a new link to the email.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you,
Thank
Alexis.
you.
All right.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna end under a minute, so yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just
All
gonna
right. Yeah.
end
Let's
it
just
now.
hop off and let's get on the new one.
Response. Invest in privacy coins.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, what's up,
Alrighty.
Frank?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Alrighty. So now we just gotta wait on Brian, and yeah, we can just continue on. Yeah, I'm loving you guys' answers so far, honestly. All right, Brian, is
Oh,
there
thank
anything
you. Yeah,
else?
you too, Frank.
Thank you, thank you. Anything else you'd like to finish out, Brian, or?
Yeah, so I think that like people get tired of banks because banks are basically institutions that always make the big bucks, and that it's about time for like people um, to be independent, and do the things they want to do. So I really like technology. Well, where those Bitcoin come, where does it come from, right? Is it from Satoshi Nakamoto? Well, who knows, right? We don't know, and I mean, I think at least it comes from someone, and the reason we don't know his identity is because, I mean, if one of us like style Bitcoin, when you think about Bitcoin, like it goes against like banks, right? And obviously, if you create like Bitcoin, and this Bitcoin again goes against these banks, we see you don't want your identity to be revealed, otherwise you're gonna get killed, right? Because these big companies, they would do anything, right, uh to really destroy you, like if they think they're in trouble, right? Because at the end of the day, like these banks always want to make money, right? So I think like cryptocurrencies are here to stay. Why? Because when you guys think as far as like cryptos, like being mass adopted, like think about El Salvador, for example. Alexis knows about it. People there can pay using Bitcoin. When you think about Cuba, actually in Cuba, people they have to use cryptocurrencies to pay, because like the U.S. government like restricted people to use Visa cards. So what's the solution? Cryptocurrencies, right? So when you think about cryptocurrencies, it's like a rebel, right? It's like you know um, we don't accept what people at the top, like the richest companies, or richest people want to do. I think cryptocurrencies as a whole is good to fight against like you know people who want to control what we can and cannot do. You know what I mean? So I think that like as far as like the whole technology, it's amazing, and it's definitely like here to stay. I mean, so many crypto companies, and more not only countries but institutions want to adopt cryptos because they know it's the future. um, well, in order for cryptocurrencies to become even bigger, is having only the Feds basically regulate cryptos, right? Because if they regulate cryptocurrencies, then like it's gonna be mass adopted, right? Because people are gonna trust cryptos more and start to invest. So I think that when you think about investing in like Bitcoin, to me Bitcoin and Ethereum are the best two choices. Of course you have Cardano, Solana. You have what else do you have? Like um, you know these altcoins, right? Obviously, some are gonna die. There's over 6,000 coins, circulating, right? Uh, but yeah, it's a lot. Obviously, a lot of them are gonna die because everyone wants to make money, and since there's so many coins, obviously not all the coins are gonna perform well. Some of them are gonna um, end up being shut down, of course. But as far as investing in cryptocurrencies, I mean Bitcoin definitely. I mean recently some wells they put I saw that they put at least I think a billion into Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is going up. So yeah, I mean, you know, um, the people who can afford spending this money, they're not dumb. So like if they invest this money into Bitcoin, it means something, right? Of course, they want to make money, but they know that it's a strong asset. So cryptocurrencies to me are important. Moving forward, because I'm kind of tired of these banks always making money like out of us. uh we need to find a way like people like us to make a lot of money too. What I mean? And because obviously the general population like is we see tired of people I mean that class of people always making the most money. So like I feel like cryptocurrencies is a way for like people like us to like invest in something, whether it's short term or long term, depending on your financial goals, to like to win as well. uh some people think cryptos are like a scam. No, no, no. Oh, I mean it's too deep now in the society, in some countries and institutions, to I feel like like being considered as a scam. No, no way, no way. So that's my opinion about it.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you tend to know a lot about it, man.
Yeah, very well said, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Brian,
also,
You feel very strongly about it.
yeah, very strong.
I
And
I
also
did my research.
yeah, Brian showed me once.
Okay.
There's YouTube channels like Altcoin Daily, like a big one. I follow the time and stuff. So it's just out of interest that I know certain things. That's,
that's good.
yeah.
And how much are you invested into it, actually? Yeah, like how much have you
A
actually
lot.
put
A
down? A
lot.
lot. How much is a lot?
Um, like thousands. Yeah, nearly thousands. And when I can invest, I just put money in, right? And
Smart man. Yeah.
that's
Wow.
it. So
Uh,
I have this ledger key here. So this is like a flash drive for cryptocurrencies. So here I store all my cryptos, right?
uh,
So
yeah.
so
What
I
the
don't
heck?
store everything because I leave cryptos under my Coinbase account because some of these cryptocurrencies they have APY. So like when you leave them in your Coinbase account, they um, they make you like more and more money because of the percentage they give you, right? So yeah, so I started small. I've done a lot of research. To me, cryptocurrencies are I don't know, more interesting than stocks. Yeah, I made money from some stocks, but I mean, I don't know, cryptos. When you think about Bitcoin, like it goes like up and down. So so I guess what I would do as far as Bitcoin, like my like my own um, like uh, observation about it is that like if you invest short term, like let's say you put like a good amount of money into it, and then like you sell it not too long after, you can make some money, and that's what's been happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going like up and down, right? So I don't know. Short term, long term, both works for crypto, for cryptos, like Bitcoin. So yeah,
Wow. And how much do you think that someone should put in as like an initial investment? Someone's just starting off.
can be even $20. I mean, I think what's and I like what Alexis was saying as far as compound interest because it reminds me because I was telling Alexis, remember when I was telling you that you can once you make money, if you want to put $15 or like $30 or $50, and keep putting money into those cryptos with like whatever you can afford, and just like have a habit doing it, right? It's like everything else. If you think about stocks, same thing. Like let's say you wanna you wanna put money into certain stock. You just buy the share, even if it's one share. I feel like creating those little habits as far as investing here, investing there with whatever you can afford. That's it. Yeah.
I see. Just
Mm.
whatever you can, really. Whatever is most convenient to the individual. Yeah.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Nice.
Yeah, because I didn't know that you can actually like hold cryptos in a flash drive. I thought you just kind
Hmm.
of like leave it in a Coinbase account or like wherever else you buy cryptocurrencies. But
Hmm.
uh, does it like when you have it in the flash drive? Does it keep it more encoded? Is it more better protected, or like how's that different than keeping it in a Coinbase account?
I can literally share my screen and show you guys how it works.
Yeah, you can, as long as there's not personal information on there.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't mind sharing.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna do. Okay.
Hey Brian, what do you think? Oh, sorry, random question. What do you think about privacy coins being a big thing in the next decade or so? Well, I mean, because you brought up things being more regulated over time, right? I was thinking that investing in those privacy coins like Monero or Zcash would be good investments or good coins to invest in as well. Aside from like Ethereum and the other well-known altcoins.
I don't know enough to tell you.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Privacy coins?
Yeah, we're like, cause a lot of the transactions on the blockchain with crypto, like they're not as like private as a like yeah, they're not as like private because you can kind of see where it's like coming from. I think on a lot of the transactions, but there's a couple coins I think that help shield like your transactions, so it's like private between each. If you send money, let's say I send you money and like from Monero or Zcash, those are two privacy coins. But the transaction itself, it's shielded, so you can't trace it where it's like coming from on both sides.
I
And
see.
so I think those two coins are going to do really well in the next decade because, like Brian said, it's going to be more regulated, and I think a lot of
Mhm.
a lot of the a lot of the fad currencies will die out, but the ones that are here to stay will stay. And as it gets more widely adopted, people are going to be concerned about privacy, making sure the transactions are like private. That you can't just be traced on the blockchain or easily. Right? Because part of the appeal of cryptocurrency is having the private peer-to-peer transactions. Yeah. So that's my reasoning for those privacy coins doing really well. Like investing in, like personally myself, I'd
Mm,
invest as much as I could in those. I mean, not right now, but like
uh-huh.
gradually over time.
I
Well
see.
said.
Amen. Amen.
Interesting.
Yeah. Wait, so then do you think that these privacy coins will be used by the everyday folks, or will
Yeah,
they
or
be used?
institutions and all that too. I think also
Mm,
back some of these.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah, because
because
I think if it gets more
uh,
adopted crypto, right, you need some like regulation in place, and I think that part of that would be having more privacy in transactions and like with certain coins, I think it would kill off a lot of the coins with the more regulation and the privacy being a concern with, especially for mass adoption, I'd say, where the average person probably would be concerned about that.
mm, I'm not too sure about that because the way that we do transaction nowadays, just by paying with credit or paying with debit, that can all still be traced. You- And
Mm.
and that's just what everyday people use. So by just simply making more private, I don't think it's gonna be more popular than like the well-known cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin. I don't think it's gonna those privacy coins are not gonna overshadow the big major cryptos that people have been using just for the sake of privacy. Honestly, I think what people will do is just do what's most convenient to them, whether that's
Mm.
paying with a card, paying with cash, paying with a card that has crypto on it, or credit or debit. Just whatever's most convenient to the individual, really. Um, but yeah, it is very interesting to see where all this is going to head off to in the future. Because, yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys say is that crypto is the way of the future. And one way I love about it is that you can send large quantities of money without there being any much of a hassle. Like, Brian, if I send you $100,000, just simply send it right there. There won't be any issue at all. But if I do it through a bank, they're gonna have to go through a whole bunch of loans. They might not even pass it through. Might not even be approved. It'll take weeks in advance. It's just a whole bunch of back and forth. When simply I can just send it to you with just a click of a button on my phone. So in that aspect alone, I believe that it's here to stay. It's already being used in many areas of the world. I know Miami, Florida, they're using it.
Mhm.
Especially to buy exotic cars and other high end places. So yeah, it's exciting to see where all this is gonna head off in the future. Yeah, very much so. All right, but to move on from cryptocurrency, uh, I want to bring something else up because me and my buddy actually we've been at the gym. We were talking about doing some real estate investing. Eventually, in the next 5 years, we want to eventually put down some money in a property, at least $1 million property in San Diego, just so we can build a team around that also, and to better fully understand real estate investing and to ultimately make passive income out of it. And so yeah, I want to pass it on to you guys. Like, are you all familiar with real estate investing? Like, what do you know about it, and are you looking to get into it? Yeah, we can start with Yeah, we can start with Alexis. How about you, man?
Man, that's cool. It's cool. You master money with your friend. But yeah, man. All I gotta say is 10x. I'm just kidding, but that
10x.
guy, yeah, the real estate guy. Yeah, I remember reading his book. Maybe you guys read it, The Millionaire Booklet by Grant Cardone. And I think he was in his early 30s, where he was 25, broke, car salesman. He saved his money up, and he finally invested into real estate in his early 30s. I can't remember. I think it was close to like $1 million property. I'm not sure, but yeah, he invested into that and made his money. Made pretty good money selling it. Um, but yeah, real estate in general. I know some people, they like to invest in rental homes, or you know, like $300,000 homes, or buy a home and house hack it, or yeah, and just I feel like the best strategy. I mean, if you don't have a lot of funds, um, I haven't done it myself, but it's like house hacking or like build, restore, like rehab. Like you live in it for a while, you rent it out, then you sell it. There's a book on it too by Bigger Pockets. Maybe you've heard of them before. They're a huge like podcast company slash you. Like I think close to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. But yeah, it's something I've thought about too. Real estate, add to my portfolio in the future, just because like land is always going to be there. It's like I think Albert Einstein said it's never going away. So yeah, it will be a nice addition. And plus, I think it's out of all most of them, it's probably the safest too. Um, out of most of these, because yeah, it's people always gonna need a place to live, and it's not gonna be dictated whether the economy, right, the market, stocks or crypto, right. Real estate is like a first sure thing that's always gonna be there, right. Of course, you gotta do repairs, home maintenance, right. You can do it yourself or outsource that part, but um, yeah, I think it's and you build equity too over time. So it's good, but just take money up front. Just depends, do your research, and I feel like it's a good investment vehicle if that's where you want to go. So yeah, that's my take on that.
Yeah, I agree. It is a safe bet because people are always gonna need a place to live, and the land it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, I think it is a good you know investment to make. This property, and definitely something that you need to be aware of. Learn more about too. Um, yeah, I'm still trying to slowly figure it out step by step. Me and my buddy, because we want to eventually, yeah, do make a profit out of it. Um, but what about you, David? What
Yeah,
do you think? Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
You were saying, Alexis?
No, I was gonna say one more thing for it. Have you heard of wholesaling before?
Wholesaling. It sounds
Yeah,
very
I don't know what
familiar.
goes into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I've heard of the term before, but I'm not too familiar with it. You know
You know this
what
guy
is it?
named Cody Sperber?
Oh, yeah, I've heard.
Cody Spurbert. No.
Arizona, right? That guy.
No, it's a
Clever
whole.
investment.
I remember too when I went to Thrive Make Money Matter. Cole Hatter, his partner, Cody Sperber, he spoke on stage, but he's like a wholesaler. Like basically, I think it's where you like you connect the seller and the buyer, and like you're the middleman, and you find the person who wants to buy this property, right? You connect them with the seller, and you get a commission out of that. And I've seen guys like they make a lot of money doing that, like just that business model itself. Um, which I haven't really I've got into because it gets a little more complicated. You need to like you need to learn more about it, or like ask more people, or to get to know people. Because I know this guy actually. I'm at an event. He used to do a social media marketing agency, and then now he does wholesaling. He does pretty well for himself. He lives in Vegas. Maybe me and Brian will meet him. I'll hit him up like, hey, let's meet with this guy, because he's doing pretty well. But he took Cody Sperber's course, real estate course, and I think it's like in his early 30s or something like that, and he's doing pretty well. But that's active income. It's not really like passive. It's like more a business model. But yeah, look into that if you're curious.
Yeah, just very interesting. So you're essentially acting as the middleman between the person who wants to buy the seller and the buyer. You just simply make them meet each other.
Yeah, that's the simple terms. It's more stuff into that's the simple way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, very interesting actually.
Hmm.
Um, well, yeah. What do you think about this, David?
Yeah, it's all very interesting, like you said. I'd say, like, for as far as investing goes, since we're on that topic, basically, real estate's probably the safest investment, like Alex said. I mean, I think there's a stat, right? I think the most millionaires are created through real estate, I believe, right?
Yes,
If I'm not
sir.
mistaken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, like you guys already said, people always need a place to live. Land's not going to change, right? It's always going to be the same amount of land, right? So, owning real estate is something that I think everyone should aspire to get into at some point. I think this year's not a good year to get into real estate, but I think starting next year is. So over the next year or two, I'm gonna try to actually buy my first property. Um, so that's like a goal I have as well, going along with the investing aspect of it. I'm not sure how to I would approach that. I mean, but a lot of different strategies to approach it. It could be a rental place, could be a residential that I turn into the place that I rent out. Um, which I guess like the hardest part about real estate, it's just getting started, right? There's a lot of different ways to approach it. The hardest part is just getting that first investment, whatever that might be. Whether you're flipping houses, wholesaling, or actually, buying and renting. I mean, there's a lot of different strategies, but hardest part I think I'd say is just getting that first property, which with the capital involved, saving up for that, and just getting that. Because once you get the ball rolling, it kind of just compounds from there. Going back to the compound interest concept that you brought up earlier, Alex. Of real estate, it definitely is applicable there.
Yeah, yeah. I agree, man. But you mentioned earlier that now is not a good time. Like the market's not good now. I heard a little bit about that, here and there, but I don't really know why. Any reason why you think the market is not good? Like is now not a good time to invest into properties?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, obviously, I'm not a real estate expert myself, but I mean, interest rates are really high, so like it's you're not getting a really great rate on a mortgage if you're trying to buy a property or a house right now. And I think prices are still kind of inflated, although I think they're starting to go down a bit. I mean, Brian might be know more about this than I do, but right now, like the prices aren't really the lowest it can be to buy, and the interest rate's a huge aspect of that. Where interest rate, like you end up paying a lot more in interest over the years that you pay off a property if it's really high.
I see. And would a
And
oh no, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, one thing I was gonna add, I think over the course of this year, I think the banks are. It's gonna be hard to get a loan, I guess, or I think lenders are gonna be more hesitant to lend out money this year because of the interest rates are so high, and a lot of people are probably going to foreclose on homes they can't afford their payments and all that, and a lot of that's due to the interest rates and all the stuff that's going on in the economy. So ideally, like I said, I think that's why I think it's best to sit out right now and wait till property values go down and let the interest rate stuff play out to the point where it's more favorable for you as an investor, even just a buyer if you're trying to buy a place to live.
I see. And you say a part of the reason is because the higher interest rates. Is that a reason because of how the economy is? How we're in an inflation right now?
Yeah, I think it's connected to that.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah. What do you think about all this, Brian? Do you agree? Disagree?
Oh yeah, I totally agree with David. I've been following. I like to watch certain channels like Bloomberg and like CNBC. Just to have like knowledge about what's going on in the world. And Yeah, definitely. I mean, we see inflation is still high. Um, I I was I was watching a video and they were showing that real estate prices in Vegas are very high. Uh, I mean, big change compared from before, right? So yeah, right now, as David said, I agree because like we're still inflation, real estate prices are high. So it's better to wait at least until next year, as David said, for sure, because of what's going on. And some people they talk about crash. I've been hearing that for a little while now, that the economy may crash, and that then this is the time to start investing in in real estate, because yeah, I bought a home a long time ago that you know my family and I sold, uh, and yeah, and interest rates at the time were lower, but still like it was still high, because if you finance a home, I mean, you will pay more for like the interest you have to pay than the home, right, David? Um, so like if you think about like high interest rates, there's no way you want to invest in real estate. And as far as real estate, I want to take that kind of global, as far as like I was thinking about. If it's a good investment or not, depending on where you are. Like if you're in the US and prices are affordable, then yeah, like this is called the American dream, right? Is to like being able to buy a house and live in it and be comfortable, right? But if you think about certain places, like I've been to, like China, Korea, real estate prices there are very expensive. Is it a good investment? No, because if you want to get an apartment, you're gonna pay a lot of money, right? Or even uh, a studio in Gangnam, in Seoul, is between $300,000 and $400,000 just for a studio. And I stay in the studios because I was doing Airbnbs over there while I was staying in this area of the city. So in the US, yes, of course, you can definitely make money here, but DC or not, because of inflation and prices. Um, you know, you want to invest in Colombia, for example, it's a good place to invest in, because real estate, prices are much cheaper, right? My brother and I, we actually bought a couple of properties there. I mean, when you think about the price there compared to here, I mean, it's much cheaper there. And speaking of, not only real estate, as far as properties, if you think about investing in a piece of land, South America is a good place, whether it's Colombia, Panama, because of the quality of the land, the soil. I mean, uh, you think about Colombia, great place to buy a piece of land and grow food, or like raise animals. So definitely, like I feel like South America to me is the most attractive market. And there's definitely like a good business over there. I met one of my clients at Louis Vuitton. He's actually Taiwanese, but he was born in Costa Rica, so he speaks Spanish. He came with his girlfriend from Costa Rica, and basically, like he, as far as his business, he owns fishing boats, and he sells like his basically his fish and stuff. you know, overseas, like in the US, for example. As far as what she does, she has stores, so she basically resells. So she buys wholesale, and she sells retail price, right? So like I feel like South America is definitely a good country to. I mean, good place to invest in. Not only when it comes to real estate, but other businesses as well. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I would never considered investing in other countries.
Oh,
Colombia,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
because Colombia, buying land, it would be cheaper, right, than buying a property here in
definitely.
America.
Buying land over there is gonna be obviously cheaper for sure. Yeah, because it's Colombia, and if you own a bunch of properties in Colombia, you can make good money. Because Colombia is a country that is being more and more popular as far as tourism. So like the property we have in Medellin, that one is always rented because people coming to Colombia, they want to find a Airbnb. So like our place has been busy, right? I mean, more and more tourists go to Colombia. Like more and more of the people I know in Vegas, for example, I see them on Instagram in Colombia, right? So like you also have to I guess kind of like forecast where people are going, and like what's going on to invest, right? So I feel like Colombia to me right now is like the best place to do to do something. Save money, buy a place there, and rent it. You know, so I think. Right now, if you want to do something, like if you have the cash now, then I think
Mhm.
Colombia is a good place to do something instead of here I would say next year. Yeah.
Wow. So you personally would rather invest in land and property in
Yeah.
Colombia rather than America,
Right.
mainly because of the soil of it and because of
Right.
tourism.
Right.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, because I never would have considered actually investing over there because yeah, I've been looking slightly into it. Um, because I thought investing into real estate would be means just buying a property here, putting like 10% down of it, and have the bank pay for the rest of it. But to buy land, I mean that's overall I think that's a much more profitable endeavor because there's so much you can do on there. Build a house, raise a farm, grow some crops. A house is just a house, but a land you could do so much more with it. So, yeah, very fascinating, actually. Um,
Yeah. I have a friend. He bought a piece of land in Panama, and he's gonna raise animals there. Yeah.
awesome, awesome.
Wow. Panama.
Is he turning that into a farm, or is that what he's planning to do with that?
Exactly. Exactly. And he bought this apartment. He showed me. It's amazing. Like big apartment with an amazing view. He showed me big balcony. It's crazy nice. And if you think about obviously the difference in pricing, when it comes to there and here, obviously, this is the kind of place that you definitely cannot buy here because it's gonna be so expensive. Especially if you get a place like this in California, like LA, right? So again, like if you have the money, then obviously something you should consider as far as Colombia. I would say Colombia because I have more knowledge, a bit more knowledge about Colombia than Panama actually. But yeah, South America is a good place to start some businesses. I never thought I would say that one day, but South America is a good place because it's still cheap to do stuff there. Obviously, things will change, over time. Like in China, China labor is more expensive now, which is why like before you joined the call, Frank, we were talking about. I was talking about the fact that Chinese companies have been moving to Africa, so to get cheaper labor. So yeah, so I guess like investing at the right time and in the right place can be a good investment if you have the money, right? So.
Right, right. And do you currently have any investments in these countries?
Yes, I
In
do. We have a property in Medellin that we've been renting. So my brother is since he lives there, he's the one like handling that, right? And we have a second property that is gonna be built around the end of the year in Colombia too, but it's gonna be on the beach. And this one. Airbnb as well once it's gonna be done. Obviously, furnish it first. But yeah, when my brother was in town, actually recently, we were talking about more investments along the way to build like some more assets and fully make some passive incomes. Obviously, it requires the investment, and before you make a profit, obviously you're gonna have to wait a couple of years. But after a couple of years, if you can make certain amount of money a month, just renting, it's good, right? So yeah. Hmm. Even if it's like I don't know, even if it's like I don't know, for example, like 400-500 to start. But I'm not saying like because you own several properties that you're making the big bucks. No, you're gonna make in the beginning like a certain amount of money, but then like if you stay disciplined and you save your money and you invest in more, then you're gonna see more and more money. Obviously, it requires you to be there and like take care of everything and stuff. But at the end of the day, it pays off because you're getting your money, right? So yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Because
Hmm.
I was actually speaking with another one of my buddies. He's a young man and he's really getting into real estate investing. And he mentioned something that um when you don't have any money to start, what you do is you go and look for deals and you show them to the people who do have money. You know, rich guys who already have a portfolio. And instead of them having to go and do the work of finding the deal, you, as the middleman, you run through all the numbers, make sure it all makes sense, and you show it to the guy with the money, and they, and if it makes sense to them, they buy the property, and you get the cut. And Brian, is this what you did, or is it something similar, or what did you do exactly to acquire these properties?
Because we sold our house here and we made a profit, so we were able to buy our first property there. So the way it works in Colombia is that you put a deposit, and then you have a certain amount of time to come up with the rest of the money. And once the time is due, you pay it off, and the property is yours.
Mm, wow.
Um, did you find this like on Zillow.com, or did your brother go door knocking? Like how did he find the leads to? Because here you gotta look online, knock out like what did he do to like find these deals that okay, this is a good investment versus okay, this is like not so good investment, you know?
Location and over there, like uh, since like um, the basically since the Colombian government you know so because something happened, so I just need to look up something. um
Okay. Yeah, because this is all very interesting. Because I heard there's multiple ways to do this. Yeah, you heard you can, put a deposit down, initial deposit, have the bank refinance it, uh, have partner up with an investor, and have him pay for it all. You get a cut out of it. There's many ways to do this. I think it all suits best to how much the individual has to start off with, how much capital that he has to begin with, and also how much skill that he has with it, how much knowledge he has about the market, the property, and of course, there's that saying that they always say is location, location, location.
Location. Love it, Frank.
Yeah, location. Yeah.
Other thing, OPM, other people's money. Other thing too. Leverage, right? Real estate, huge, right? Other people's money and leverage.
Uh-huh.
But leveraging the smart debt, I guess, or good debt, Yeah, because there's like you said, there's a lot of ways to go about it. It's very fascinating. No, I think all of us are still kind of. I mean, I think maybe Brian's ahead of us in that regard, but we're still just learning all this stuff and
Yeah.
soaking in.
And did it with a partner too. You didn't go alone.
Yeah.
So find like a partner. But if you make enough income, you go it alone. But just I guess depends like what you want to do, stuff.
Yeah. Amen. And I think 'cause, well, me and my buddy, what we want to do is we're building a team together, and we want to have obviously, we're gonna put some money into the property, but we're also gonna have the need to get an accountant as well as a actual real estate agent too, so we can run it by him. Professionals in all areas, because yeah, to go about it alone, I think you're just gonna have. I think you're gonna crash and burn because
There's a lot of moving parts. Yeah,
exactly.
you could probably trip up pretty easily doing it on your own,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or get a bad deal, right? Because like again, you can't do it alone. Because there's so many parties involved, regardless of whether you want that to happen or not, right? You got the bank, you got the real. I mean, all sorts of parts.
yeah. Amen to that, man. I mean, after all, it takes a village. It takes a village to get anything great done. So it's best to get a team together, some investors, an accountant, an actual agent, people that you can trust, people you can rely on to help you find deals, finance it, and make sure that the machine, the cogs are moving in its proper place. Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Interesting, interesting.
Did you find what you're looking for, Brian? Sorry, I don't want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you find what you were looking for, Brian, or no?
So the reason real estate um, has been booming in Colombia is because so I was looking for that. So basically, what happened is says the Colombian peace process is okay. Is the peace process between the Colombian government of President Juan Manuel Santos and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC-EP, to bring an end to the Colombian conflict, which eventually led to the peace agreements between the Colombian government of Juan Manuel Santos and FARC-EP, right? So basically, after that, the country started booming uh, because no more conflicts because no more conflicts in the country. So after that, a lot of foreign investors started to invest over there. So like American people and stuff. So that's why. What it's leading to is that as far as getting a property there, like you don't see the property, you see the lot, right? So because they've been building a lot of new 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 lots, right? So like you go, you see how your apartment is gonna look like, the building, the amenities you have, the surrounding area, because it's part of one project, right? And then if you like the place, you like the location, you like the price, then you put a deposit down, like you go through obviously like a real estate agent, who takes care of you. And then again, you have certain amount of time to come up with the rest of the money. That's how you invest over there. With basically money you saved and money you earned by whatever, right? So
I see. And
Nice. Good job.
yeah, amen, amen. And how much capital do you think an individual should have to put down into a property in order for him to get an investment within a reasonable time?
Hmm.
um, like um, like for example, if a property is about like 80 to like 90K, like an apartment, um, well, at least thousands, right? I mean, that's the minimum. And then you need to put certain deposit to get the place. And then well, you have to work hard, or you have to have the money to 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 have basically for the rest of the amount you need to give, right? So yeah, so at least at least thousands, right? I would say thousands to secure the place. Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like 15 to 20% of the total property's value, right? That you have to put down, or some roughly around there.
So as far as the exact amount, I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, it all depends on like the actual worth of the property, right?
Well, right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay then, and also the area that is
I
in,
think
the
right.
market,
That's right.
the
That's
economy.
right.
Yeah, I think all of those
Mhm.
play a factor, doesn't it, on how much the initial deposit needs to be, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay then. Very fascinating stuff, gentlemen. Yeah, but seems like we're almost out of time. But before we wrap this all up, do you guys have any questions? That we'd like to get into. The floor is yours, gentlemen. Anything else you'd like to ask?
Hmm. What's well, at least we're talking about investing, right? Because most people nowadays, yeah, rather invest in, like what Ty says, raw straw and depreciate, right? RRD stuff,
Okay.
But yeah, like yeah, think about, even think about small things we purchase every day. What if, even like cooking, right? Like food, for example, like is that Starbucks you get in the morning, is it really worth it where you can make it here at home when it's cheaper? Kevin Louis from Shark Tank actually said he makes coffee from home. He doesn't even buy coffee anymore.
Hmm.
So just small things like that, right? Is that really worth your investment, right? Over a year, that's like what, hundreds of dollars, maybe even 1,000, right? Yeah, just small thing to think about. Whether that money could be used for your business, your skill set, or for real estate, right? Whatever.
Amen.
But
I agree with that completely.
Good point. Yeah.
but
Uh, Go
so
ahead.
what's one thing? So we all said like, what's one thing we've been investing in that's not good for us? How about
Ah,
that? Like,
shit.
Oh, that is a really good question. I've
we
Yeah.
talked about
never
good
thought
things. What
about
about
something
the
like that.
opposite, right? Like
Uh,
Charlie
Damn, I
Munger
love
says, we got to
that.
talk about the opposite. So I'll start off. As an
go
investment
ahead,
man,
bro. Go
Oh
ahead.
man, that's a good question. I don't.
Yeah, I know
yeah,
exactly how to answer this, man. But go ahead.
yeah, I've so stuff online. Man, food too, man. Overeating. Um, and some like bad experiences I thought were good for me, but nah. I've invested in OnlyFans one time, and I was like, yeah, it's a bad investment.
Bruh.
Yeah,
What the? You actually invested in an OF, dog?
yeah, I did. Yeah,
Bro,
Wait,
that
what,
is
investing in like
stupid.
managing
why.
it,
That's
or
why
that's actually someone else.
That's why two calls ago I was like, when you guys asked what's the best business model you want to get into, I was like OnlyFans.
Oh, oh, you. That was a. Oh, did you
Bruh.
actually invest in the OnlyFans business?
No. I actually bought a subscription to
Oh,
OnlyFans.
okay.
Oh my.
Yeah.
What kind of subscription are we talking about here?
That
Well,
is
it involved that like it wasn't a comedian, it involved actual women. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
okay. Well, no more of that.
Let me just leave it there. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna probe any further.
That's a bad investment right there. Okay, don't be giving your money to these random ass hoes that's shaking their asses online, dog. They don't
Yeah,
give a
this
fuck
is like
about you.
yeah. This is like 2.5 years ago or something, but that was
All
like
right.
damn man.
That's good. You're not subscribed there anymore, are you? Please.
No.
Okay. Thank goodness. Whew. I guess I'll go next, man. Because yeah, you mentioned earlier about food. That's my biggest expense, honestly, is eating out too much. And because and part of that has to do even before the job that I have, where I'm always on the road. I would always spend too much money on on fast food places, on burgers, on fries. Always going out to eat at fast food places for lunch and dinner when I can just make that shit at home, wrap it up, put it in a container, and take it with me. A lot more healthier and a lot more cheaper than going out to restaurants all the time. And I spent too much on that, too much. So that's also a little bit of online shopping too, because there'd be moments in which I would go like on a shopping craze on Amazon, impulse buying essentially. Like I would see some things, be like, "Oh, that looks cool. Yeah, why not? Let me buy that." Ding. What's on the recommended? Oh, that looks cool too. Ding, ding. And I get that not even on Amazon, but also like in retail stores in which I go in with the intention to buy one thing, and end up leaving with 10 somehow, somehow. So yeah, those are the things I got to work on. Just the impulse buying and eating out. Yeah. What about you guys?
Ooh. Let's see. I guess my answer first of all, not this one wouldn't be monetary, but stop investing time into paying attention to other people's lives on social media, whether it's YouTube. It doesn't matter what platform it is. Like it's such a time suck for me, especially. Like why am I wasting so much time doing this when look inward, invest in your time and use it wisely, right? Because you treat yourself like your time has money attached to it. Like there's an ROI attached, or just your life itself. Like, do you at the end of the day, is it really going to matter to your life and enhancing the experiences that you have in your life? Most of the time, it's no. Like, there's no point in looking at Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, Snapchat. Like it doesn't matter what platform it is. OnlyFans. Like you're investing into someone else's life basically when you're just being a spectator. So that's a huge thing I need to stop investing in per se. But on the monetary side, probably lean towards kind of which how you answered it, Frank. Like too many impulse purchases. Just cutting down on that for the most part. Yeah, but nothing too crazy in that regard. But I guess Alex, when you brought up the coffee example, life hack: don't even drink coffee. Just be so energized by waking up to a new day and living life that you don't need coffee or stimulants or anything like that to give you energy.
Okay. I wholeheartedly agree with you.
I
99% of that, except for that last point you make.
Oh, you love okay. If you
I
like
like
coffee,
coffee.
I have nothing
I like
against
coffee.
coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee drinker at all, so it's never been an expense of mine.
Okay then. Yeah. But yeah, everything else you said, man, I 1000% agree, man. Okay, because yeah, I spend too much time on social media too. Too much damn
Same.
time. Yeah. It's a bit of a problem, low key. But well, Brian, before we end, what about you, man?
Yeah, what David was saying as far as social media, for sure. Hmm.
So that's
Yeah,
his.
that's not.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead,
Yeah,
Brian.
social media. I mean, not spend too much time if it's not gonna be productive, or like doing things that are not productive, whatever it may be. Yeah, and being carried away. Yeah, from doing the real work and moving your life forward. So that's it.
So
Amen.
time management, better time management.
Yeah.
Amen to that, gentlemen. Alrighty. Now, before we wrap all this up, gentlemen, where can the people find you? Alexis, we can start with you. Real quick.
Alex Kuzman B on Instagram.
All
Go
right.
ahead, David.
Oh, Dwong 2828 on Instagram.
Hey, Brian. Brian Zachary is
That's
Instagram.
right. Mm-hmm.
And
Fine.
then Frank.
Exactly.
You can find me at Evolving Powerhouse, Evolving_Powerhouse on Instagram. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. All right, Hustlers Wealth Center, which is what this video will be on, as well as the Masculine Edge and Modern Female Nature. We talk everything about masculinity, what the female nature, and of course, entrepreneurship and all of those. So, thank you again, gentlemen, for another exciting episode. Tune in next week. We're gonna go right back at it. Woo-wee. Thanks again, guys.